Well, today we are excited to do a little co-working session. Some people are like, what are the coaching sessions like? When you coach people, what are the sessions like? Well, at the beginning of the call, we always start off sharing our wins. We start things off with encouragement. Everyone shares their wins, things that have gone well, and then we get into whatever lesson we're focusing on for that session. So we go through that lesson, and then we open things up for Q&A. And whatever questions people have, we try to answer as many as we could. And then we finish the coaching sessions with sharing our goals. What are our goals for the next 2 weeks? Since we're not going to have another call for another 2 weeks, what are our goals so that we can kind of have that accountability and know where in the world we're going? Well, today we're going to give you a glimpse into a coaching session, but just the teaching aspect part of it. We're going to skip over the wins and the goals.
Those
And
are
if
better
you
done when you're in a call session, like a meeting rather than a webinar type situation.
Exactly. So if you do have questions based on what we're talking about, put those in the chat, put those in the questions tab. We're going to try to answer as many of those as we can. Um, but we've got a really cool outline of what we're going to be going over today. If you have not printed this out, I emailed you a link to print this out. If you go to fulltimefba.com/co-working, you can use it with or without the hyphen. Both links will take you to the page, to the sheet, the worksheet that we are going to work through today. We're going to go through planning your next or your first, whichever one it is, sourcing trip. And so you're going to be going out to find inventory. This is one of the things that we walk through almost every single time before we go out and do our sourcing and make sure that our time is optimized so we're able to make the most of our time that we have. A lot of us are really busy and we need to make sure that we're not wasting time not being ready for our sourcing trip. So print this out, fulltimefba.com/co-working, and that will help you figure out, that will help you put on paper what we're going to talk about today. And that's
All
always a
right.
really good thing.
I'm going to turn off my camera real quick and I'll be in the chat in the Q&A. If you have anything that you need answered, I can do that. If there's anything that Steven's covering that we need to kind of interrupt and interject, I can do that. So I'll see you there. Let us know your questions. And yeah, I'll come back on camera later.
Yeah, this is one of the very few times where I give my wife permission to interrupt me, and it's okay.
I'm
Um,
sorry. I just want to clarify, I do not need your permission to interrupt you. Just in case anyone's curious. I don't
so
I don't
true.
have permission for that.
So true. Okay. So let's get into this. Planning your sourcing trip, your next sourcing trip. If you've been on a sourcing trip before, if you've never been on one before, this is how you can start off your first sourcing trip so that you make sure that you are set up for success. Again, that link, fulltimefba.com/co-working, to download the sheet we're going to work through. You can download it and print it out, and we'll go through this together. Um, but at the very top of the worksheet is choosing your sourcing method. What is the sourcing method you're going to choose? So whether that's retail arbitrage, going into local retail stores around you to find inventory, whether it's online arbitrage, going to websites to find inventory to sell on Amazon, whether it's trying to create a wholesale relationship with a brand, uh doing that, whether it's saying, Stephen, I am not at the financial place to do online arbitrage, wholesale, or even retail arbitrage. I need to do some garage sale and thrifting. And I totally understand. That's where I started focusing on garage sale and thrifting, and then was able to build up my profits to upgrade and start doing retail arbitrage. And then I added online arbitrage, and then I added wholesale. It's a process, it's a journey. That's why we call this the Amazon Reseller Profit Roadmap. It's a journey. We are all in different places, but Rebecca and I have found the way to make it to a full-time income selling on Amazon, and we want to help bring you along. We know the way, we know what to avoid, we know the shortcuts, we know the shortcuts that people talk about taking that are actually long cuts or roadblocks or dead ends. We know the way, we will show you the way. So, the first thing, choosing what it is. So, check that little box on your worksheet, whether it's retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, or garage sale and thrifting. The next aspect of the worksheet is what stores are you going to go? If you're doing retail arbitrage, what stores are you going to go look at? If it's online arbitrage, what are the websites that you're looking at? What are you doing when it comes to, getting online and going to these stores? Um, and if you are doing wholesale, what are the brands you're going to be focusing on? Which brands? So when it comes to retail arbitrage, if you've never done retail arbitrage before, um, I highly recommend our Jumpstart Amazon course. Our Jumpstart Amazon course walks you through a lot of retail arbitrage understanding. And and that Jumpstart Amazon course is a part of our coaching program. It's part of the courses that are involved. When you sign up for our coaching program, you get the Jumpstart Amazon course. But that's a course that can really help you know how to understand retail arbitrage strategies and stuff. If you want to do online arbitrage, we have an entire course called The Reseller's Guide to Online Arbitrage. Again, you can focus on that course solely, or you can join our coaching program because the online arbitrage course is one of the courses that's available in our 12-month program. Signing up for 12 months of coaching, you get that online arbitrage course. And so whatever it is, and wholesale, there's a whole different type of strat. In fact, when it comes to wholesale, I'm actually going to share my screen and walk you through on Amazon kind of what I like to do when I'm searching for ideas for wholesale. So I'm gonna share it with you, and all right. So I go to Google. I don't go to Google really. I go and check out fulltimefba.com/bestsellers. That link will forward you automatically. Well, if I do it right, fulltimefba.com/best sellers. That will forward you to the Amazon page of all of their best selling items. And they break it up into the different kind of categories. So you got bestsellers in home and kitchen, clothing, books, beauty, electronics, and you can continue to scroll, or you can look on the left side of your screen and see all of the different departments that are available. And so when it comes to bestseller, you want to sell the stuff that's selling quickly. The strategy when it comes to wholesale is probably the number one, in fact, probably the top 100 maybe bestsellers on Amazon are probably not brands that will allow third-party sellers like you and me to make some good money on Amazon. And so we like Rebecca and I and other Amazon sellers who make really good money on Amazon like to find brands nobody has ever heard of before. And when I say nobody, I don't really literally mean nobody. Of course, people have heard of these brands because there are brands that just are not nationwide brands or worldwide brands that everyone's heard of, like Nike or Lego or anything that you can come up with that your next door neighbor knows. The actual money in selling on Amazon when it comes to wholesale is finding those brands that no one's ever heard of before. And so let's take a look at for an example, let's go to pet supplies. All right, we are looking at the best sellers in pet supplies. Let's narrow that down even more. Rebecca, pick a bird, cat, dogs, fish. Which one do you want to go to?
Let's go with cat.
We're going with cats. She's like, you didn't tell me you were going to ask me questions during your presentation. I got cat supplies. All right. Cat, I love that apparel is first. Of course, it's alphabetical. Cat apparel? Are cats even still enough to put something on? Anyway, let's look at some cat toys. And so, the lower the there's an old phrase, the riches are in the niches. And so the more you can niche down, the more you can find a profitable wholesale a company. So you can take a look at these kind of cat toys and you can see when it gets to this, a lot of times there gets to be a place where you are going to find brands that no one's ever heard of before. Um, we're going to go even further to feather toys. So you have all these different kinds of toys, and you can start to look and see. I use a tool called Reseller that kind of adds extra information for me to see. But you kind of, when you start to niche down, you can start to see that there's certain items that, might be more available to other sellers to sell on Amazon. So I'm going to open this up in a new tab. Um, so so you can kind of look and see that this item, the Mayo Hall, who I can't even, I'm sorry, I'm totally mispronouncing it, but that's a brand I have never heard of. Have you ever heard of this brand before? This is a brand you've never heard of. And so, you can look at a keep graph and see the kind of sales that are going on and the pricing history, and then just go to Google and type in the name of the brand to try to reach out to them. Now, that is a super fast way of teaching you. And one strategy of finding profitable wholesale brands. They're best sellers, but we've niched it down so far. And sometimes you need to even like don't pick the number one brand or the number one toy or the number one item that's in that category, but like go down 20 pages where it's still items that are selling quickly but aren't the number one top brands that are available. So just so that's like how you could plan out your wholesale sourcing if you're wanting to do it that way. So that's number one, picking retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, or wholesale. Free little extra training on wholesale sourcing ideas to find brands. And 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 this is one of the best lessons we've ever learned with wholesale, that the best wholesale brands to sell are the ones that no one has ever heard of before. So if you've been following me all week long with this workshop, you know that I'm getting over being sick, or I might be coming down with being sick. So I'm actually going to mute the audio and turn my camera off for 3 seconds for me to blow my nose. Yes, we are live. We are live here. So I'll be right back in 3 seconds.
I'll come on and fill the time. So yeah, Steven's been a little bit under the weather, having some allergies or something going on, and I appreciate you taking a moment to take care of that, Steven. And um, hopefully, we're all going to be
Oh my
happy.
goodness. Thank you
Okay.
so much for coming in and doing that. I'm so thankful that our son was not in the room asking a question or wanting to show you something, because then yeah, anyway, I'm thankful that you were able to do that. So that's the first thing. Choose your sourcing method: retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, grass sale, thrifting. The second step, and this is the step that most people don't ever do, and it's why they're not finding the success that they're looking for. Put it on the calendar. Actually, put it on your calendar, whether it's a paper calendar on the wall, whether it's on your phone. Put it on your calendar. Choose a date, choose a time, set a reminder or an alert to remind you, hey, in 30 minutes you're going to do some retail arbitrage. We have the greatest intentions of sourcing for inventory, but actually following through with it sometimes does not uh, ever happen. And so when you put it on the calendar, you know it's actually going to happen. If you put an alarm, you know it's going to happen even more. So put it on the calendar and choose a date and a time that you can go out sourcing. But if you see on the worksheet, it says choose a date and time after you can complete your pre-work. So pre-work, what is pre-work? Pre-work is the things that you need to do before you start sourcing. So say you want to go sourcing. Are you going to go sourcing in an hour? Well, maybe if you need an hour to get your pre-work done, you want to make sure you have time to do your pre-work before you actually get out there and go sourcing, or get on your computer and do your sourcing, or start to uh, um, connect with retailers or connect with wholesalers. Um, but in fact, they're right there in number two. Put that down on the piece of paper. What is the time? What is the date? What is the time that okay, my kids are going to be napping at 2 o'clock. And so at 2 o'clock, I'm going to do some online arbitrage. or I've got time. I get off work at 5, I get home around 5:30, I have dinner. So maybe around 7 p.m. instead of watching the game tonight. Um, I will focus on finding inventory to sell on Amazon. And I understand the game tonight is a playoff game when it comes to football. So maybe you're like, okay, man, if you're like a big football fan, don't plan it during a football playoff game. Plan your sourcing another time. But there are times where we do need to sacrifice the things that we enjoy as relaxing every once in a while so that we can get the sourcing done that we need to do. So put it on the schedule and it's more likely to happen. In fact, there's an old quote, if it's not scheduled, it's not going to get done. And I find that true with my life. If it's not on the schedule, it's not going to get done. If it's on the schedule, guess what? 9 times out of 10, actually, maybe better than that, I get things done. So let's move to step 3. What's your pre-work? This is your pre-work. Plan the things that you need to do between now and your sourcing trip so that you can have everything done. If you're doing retail arbitrage or garage sale or thrift store sourcing, what should you do? Well, you want to make sure your phone is charged. You want to make sure that you've got the sourcing app downloaded, and you're not just have the sourcing app downloaded. You are logged in. You've tested it out by scanning stuff in your house, scanning barcodes in your house to make sure that things work. You want to make sure that those are set up. So um, if you're, if and that's if you're doing retail arbitrage, garage sale, and thrifting. Maybe you want to look online and see if there's certain sales that are going on in any of your retail stores. Maybe plan your driving routes, whether it's going to do some retail arbitrage and you're like, all right, I'm going to go hit every Walgreens in my area. So so plan that out. Plan out like where all the Walgreens are. That's the cool thing with Google Maps. You can type in all the addresses and sort the different locations so you can like make sure that you have the shortest route possible. Plan your driving routes. If it's garage sales, well, you got the driving routes of the addresses that you're going to be going to. Most, garage sales when they post online, you know, most garage sales are Friday, Saturday garage sales. Sometimes there's crazy people that like to do Thursday garage sales, like me. And so there's just opportunities for you to map out your route. So that's the kind of pre-work you need to do when it comes to retail arbitrage or garage sale thrifting. What about online arbitrage and wholesale? Well, I mean, have you signed up for different stores, different online stores, so you can get coupon codes emailed to you or sales emailed to you? In fact, I would suggest not using your personal email address to sign up for these. I would actually go get a Gmail account, a free Gmail account, and just call it, um, my Amazon business at gmail.com or whatever you want to do, obviously. Um, and with that email, because if you sign up for all these stores' email addresses, they're going to send you plenty of spam, plenty of sales, and so in fact, if you have a VA, you can have a VA go through all those messages for you and put together a little spreadsheet for you, being like, all right, here's the stores, here's the links, and here's the sales to take care of. So just an idea if you do have a VA. But sign up for those newsletters so if you're wanting to reach out to a wholesale brand, already have your template written out about the email that you're going to send them. You're gonna because you're wanting to sell that feather cat toy to that company that I couldn't pronounce, and you just reach out to them. Hello, I've seen I really like your products. I would love to sell them in my online store. What's the process of getting a wholesale account for your brand? And see what they say. See what some of them will be like. Well, are you an Amazon seller? Or they'll ask you whatever questions. Just answer honestly. And if they close the door, they close the door and move. It's just like doing retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. You need to scan and look at a lot of different things before you find the things that are profitable. Same thing with wholesale. You need to reach out to a lot of different wholesale companies before you find the ones that are open to allowing you to sell on Amazon. Um, if you are really interested in jumping into wholesale, I just want to tease this. Next month, we're going to be getting into some wholesale training. So I'll be sending you some information next month about wholesale, to kind of go a little bit deeper on that. But right now, when it comes to doing your pre-work, um, those are the kind of things. There's a little check mark. There's little boxes for you to check off the things to do, and there's extra boxes with blanks so that you can add your own items that come up that you're like, oh man, every single time I wish I would have done this before. We'll write it down in on this sourcing success trip sheet. Um, maybe there's online arbitrage stores that you want to do manual searches. We'll plan that ahead of time. Maybe you use the tool called tactical arbitrage and you want to set up scans for certain stores on tactical arbitrage. Decide that ahead of time. That's the pre-work that you do so that when you are ready to source, 100% of your time can be spent sourcing. So that's step 3, doing the pre-work before your sourcing session starts. And then number 4, execute that plan. Actually follow through with it. It drives me crazy sometimes how many times people don't even follow, like they've done all the other stuff, but then when it's actually time to go out there and get in the stores or search online, people are like, nope, not gonna do it. And it's just fear. That's what it is. It's fear that's trying to stop you. And that's we don't want fear to stop you. That's why planning ahead of time. That's another reason why the coaching program is so good, because there's that accountability with your coach or with the other coaching clients. It's okay to be scared. It's normal to be scared. And guess what? That's how we overcome our fears. We face them and we can overcome them and realize, it wasn't that bad. So execute your plan, follow through with that, go through your to-do list. Step number 5, list and prep your inventory. So you've bought the inventory, whether it's retail, you brought it home, or it's online, and a few days later it arrives. List and prep that inventory to send to Amazon. Um, we have full instructions in our full-time FBA coaching program and in the courses about the strategies when it comes to prepping your inventory and sending it to Amazon and the things that you do. We can help you through that whole step. And then rinse and repeat. Just repeat this process over and over again when you're doing your sourcing. So that is a quick little run through of this sourcing success sheet, that I have to say slowly or I might accidentally curse. It's something that your sourcing success sheet can help you find the success that you're looking for, with your next or your first sourcing session. And so I do want to open things up to a few questions. If you have any questions that you've asked, if Rebecca can come back on and ask me those questions. And then I've got a few quick little things to talk about before we head out for the day. But Rebecca, what's going on in the chat, in the Q&A? I'm going to take a drink and let you tell me.
Okay, well, before I get to the questions, we do have some questions coming in, and there was a question about the questions.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
um,
So meta.
this is an open Q&A. You can ask questions about the topic that Stephen was teaching on just now, or you can ask other questions if you don't think they're so related to the topic. That's okay. This is just an open FBA Q&A. I mean, it's not like open Q&A like, how do you think the Rangers are going to do this year? But I'm sure Stephen does
World
have.
Series.
I mean, I'm hopeful again. So yeah, let us have your questions in the chat or the Q&A. And also we've been doing links in the chat, and I want to make sure that links get put out to the people who are watching on the replay as well. So Stephen's still doing connect calls, fulltimefba.com/connect was that one. And then are you going to get into the coaching links and all of that again later, Stephen?
Yes.
Okay, I'll leave that one for later. I just want to make sure the connect call one, because sometimes you forget that one.
Oh no. Oh
It's
no.
okay. All right.
That's why I
So,
have you. You
I
help
think
me remember things.
that's literally the only reason that you have me is so. All right. So I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Is it Didier from Canada is asking, I keep hearing about poly bags. Some people say if you can touch the product, it needs a poly bag. What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts are this. Um, it's a poly bag is only needed if you could touch the end product. So what I mean by that is like if in fact here's an example. Here is a toy that my son gave me as a gift, and it's you got this whole Boba Fett Star Wars plush toy. And if I just send this in, say I put, there's a tag on it. I already took the tag off because I'm not a collector or anything. Anyway, I already took the tag off. The tag has the sticker on it. Um, if I just send it into Amazon like this, is this going to get dirty or dusty in an Amazon warehouse? Probably so. Absolutely. So this definitely needs a poly bag. This definitely needs a poly bag, okay? Because it's going to get dirty.
And
Here's
don't take
here's a
the tag off. Don't take the
Oh yeah,
tag off.
don't take the tag off.
Even
Yeah.
just took it off because it's his, not because
Yes.
you would not send it into Amazon without the tag.
Yes. And so you put the poly bag on it, and then you put your FNSKU sticker, your Amazon sticker over that, and maybe a suffocation warning label, the making sure because that's Amazon's rules.
Not maybe. Like if the bag has the label on it, you don't have to put another one. But
Right.
like if it doesn't have the label printed on the bag, you definitely have to add another label. So that's not a maybe.
Yep. 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 So here's something that the end customer can touch, um, but it doesn't usually need a poly bag unless it's like really old or collectible. It probably does not need a poly bag for a book. But I don't have an example for this. You know how sometimes there's a toy, and I sell a lot of toys, and so this is my main example that's in my head. There's a toy, but there's like a hole in the box that shows you like you can push the buttons with, or you can actually see the toy. If the end product that the customer is going to use can be touched, can be accessed, then it needs a poly bag. But if you have like a box of cereal and you're selling that box of cereal, that does not need to be polybagged because it's what's inside the box that the customer is going to actually consume and use. And so polybags are only needed for items where the final item that the customer gets might be exposed to the elements of the warehouse. So good
Okay.
question.
All right. Next question. Where do the photos come from for listings? Are they stock photos from the manufacturer or do you take the photos yourself like eBay? And yes, this is relevant for today. Any question is relevant for today.
Yes. So when it comes to the products on Amazon, um, I I teach and coach our students to find inventory items that already have an Amazon sales page, that already has consistent pricing and consistent um, sales rank, sales velocity. And so I almost never bring a new product to Amazon. That's not on Amazon. In fact, there might be items that you can't find on Amazon that actually are on Amazon. Amazon they're just sold out, and so Amazon likes to hide those in the search results. And so the best types of images to use are the images that the brands take and create, those professional images. And so if you are working with a wholesaler, you can reach out to them and ask them for their images. Don't take a picture. I've seen pictures of like a certain item on a kitchen table as the main image for an Amazon product, and like you definitely came from eBay.
Or like the
Um,
item on the shelf in the store, like you took a picture at Walmart.
oh yeah. Or once I saw like at a thrift store, someone took a picture of an item on the store in the thrift store with the thrift store price on it. And no, anyway, there's yeah.
Don't do
But
that.
when it comes to the images that are on Amazon, the brand images that they have taken, the professional images are the best to use. And if you are bringing a new item to Amazon and it's not suppressed in the search on Amazon, reach out to the brand and ask them for those images.
Yeah. All right. So, question about, so we've got a seller who's selling an ASIN, been selling it for a while, bought a lot of inventory to keep selling it, but now they can't replenish the inventory. There's limitations on the listing. They're going to need approval to sell the item. What do you do?
Um, so if and this has happened to us, items that we was a replenishable item, items that we had many in stock that all of a sudden Amazon, or more specifically, the brand was like, all right, it's
I
not
have
open
another
anymore.
example though. After you finish yours, I have
Okay.
an example where it was not the brand.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's good. Um, and and so we were, I tried to reach out to the brand because I did not have a wholesale relationship with that brand. I was purchasing it via online arbitrage, and so I realized, okay, this brand, I wasn't able to get a wholesale relationship with this brand, and so we ended up selling out. We removed the inventory and we sold the rest of our stuff on eBay, that we had in stock, and we were thankful that we were still able to make some profit on that. Sometimes we have to take a loss, and that also happens. And so that's kind of what happened. If you're not able to gain approval, because like when we got shut down from this one particular brand, it was not even accepting applications for approval. And we
Yeah,
were
it
like,
wasn't just us,
okay,
it was for anybody.
yes, yeah,
They just wanted everybody off their listings.
yeah, yeah. So that's my example. What's yours?
So mine is actually with one that we are, I have a wholesale account with them, and a while back, so we've been selling their stuff for a couple of years, and I get it directly from the brand. And all of a sudden, some of our ASINs, not all of them, but some of them, like they had the dog page, like the listing was just gone. And so I reached out to the brand and I was like, hey, did you know this was going on? Like, what's happening? Can you give me any information about this? And they were like, yeah, actually, what happened is that some of the listings for our products were being listed with um like not the real UPC. And so Amazon was shutting down those listings. And so they were like, here's the list. So I've been ordering from them forever, and had was using an order form that didn't have UPCs on it. And so they sent me a list of all of their UPCs, and they're like, make sure that the listings that you're using are these ones. These are the ones that, have our UPCs and are Amazon's not going to mess with. And also, here's a letter. They sent us a letter on their letterhead saying that we're approved to sell. I mean, if you've got that wholesale relationship and something happens where all of a sudden there's a problem and you're not able to replenish, or you're restricted. So there was, some of them were dog pages, and then others were saying that like you need to be approved. So we were able to get it all worked out so that we could continue sending in our, continue buying from them, continue sending in our stuff. And the brand helped us to resolve that. They gave us a letter to Amazon with, saying that we're approved and all of that. So it really just depends on the situation. There could be numerous things going on when suddenly something that you've been selling, you're not able to sell anymore. You just kind of have to do the research and figure out like, okay, what happened here? Why is this happening? Okay, now how do I handle that situation?
Yeah, and if you're hearing Rebecca talk about the dog pages, those are
Yeah.
basically the items that the product listing has been brought down by Amazon. And so since Amazon no longer has a product to show you, instead they show you pictures of Amazon employee dogs, like literal dogs of Amazon employees. And so they're called the dog pages,
And
and
it said
they're
something like,
most
sorry, you can't find that listing or something like that.
right, and they're usually cute and adorable, and very unique also. So it's interesting to see the dog pages, but
You
that's
don't
what
want
that
to see a dog
means.
page though.
What?
They do make it better because it's a cute dog, but you don't want to see a dog page.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so follow-up question, or follow-up statement, I guess, is brand wasn't involved in this process, and I see lots of new sellers joining on the listing.
Yeah, I mean there could be, you know, a brand might be making the parameters that they decide that a third party seller they might make it stricter. And so I don't know if your feedback score has been hurt lately, or your Amazon Health account score has gone down. There's a lot of different reasons. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to know, but you can try to get negative feedback removed and try to do things in a better way to increase the health of your Amazon account. Um, and so those are some ideas that you can work on to repair that broken opportunity.
So it says too, I do have stock available on Amazon. It's continuing to sell. I just can't replenish inventory. So that might be a different situation. That might be more like a IPI type situation, or what would you say,
Yeah,
Stephen?
either IPI or just you've reached the maximum
Storage.
amount of inventory that you can send to Amazon. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. It might just be a situation where you just have to kind of wait it out and replenish later.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So maybe if you have other sellers that are slow sellers, you might remove some of those inventory, knowing that might open things up for you to send in the stuff that it's actually selling quickly.
Yeah. Thanks for going back and forth with us on that one, because that's one that was just between hosts and panelists. And so they were kind of going back and forth in the chat to kind of clarify. And I appreciate that, because I want to answer the right question and not like something else. But I think we were able to cover several different scenarios there. So hopefully that was helpful. All right, Olga is saying in the chat, because we had just talked, was it yesterday, about mindset? Yeah. That she started the mindset audiobook that's available free on YouTube. And she has the link there. So if you're in the chat, you can get that. If not, you can go to YouTube and search for it.
Yeah, Carol Dweck, Dweck.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was telling somebody in the chat yesterday, when I put the link, it's fulltimefba.com/mindset, will take you straight to the Amazon page where you can check out that book. Not check it out like the library, but check it out like um when I looked yesterday, it was ranked 324. That book came out in 2007, and it continues to be like a 3-digit rank in books or lower, because it is so impactful and just really helpful. And, hopefully it'll help a lot of y'all
Yeah.
as well in the
Yeah,
same way.
it is so good. I don't read very many books multiple times. This is one I plan on reading again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very helpful to kind of think through like some places that might have you stuck, as far as, and it's not like a mindset, like a woo woo type,
Right.
if you think it, you
Yeah,
can
it's not the
type
power
thing.
of positive thinking or
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
or
like based in psychology and study.
right, not what's it called where people are like, if I just think about it a lot, it's gonna happen. Um, I can't even think of what it's called.
Manifesting.
Yes, manifest, stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's not that. It's
yeah,
it's more like how you think, how you talk to yourself in your thoughts, those kind of things, the kind of attitudes that you have that might be holding you back.
yeah, yeah.
All right, well, it looks like that's all of the questions that are coming in. So, if you have any last questions, let us know. And Stephen, what have you got for us?
So I kind of wanted to talk to everyone. The full-time FBA coaching program, we've got this opportunity to for you to join our coaching program, and I just kind of want to walk through this with you. This is the sign up page. We've got the bi-weekly calls where every other week we get on a call, whether it's individual coaching, just me and you on a call, or it's me with you and others in group coaching. Bi-weekly calls. We've got depending on if you sign up for a 6-month coaching or a 12-month coaching with 18 to 25 hours of laser focused training to help you learn the things on your own on your own time, but then come to the coaching calls and ask your questions for clarification or for what is your specific situation. Um, and the courses that are involved in the coaching program, we got the Jumpstart Amazon course that walks you through how to start your Amazon business and build up a foundation towards success. The Reseller's Guide to Keepa, which shows you how to make good sourcing decisions. Um, Reseller's Guide to Pricing for Profits, which walks you through obviously your pricing, how to squeeze out every last little bit of profit. The Reseller's Guide to Online Arbitrage, walking you through our online arbitrage strategies to finding inventory online to sell on Amazon, and then the Reseller's Guide to Replenishables and finding inventory that you can buy again and again to sell again and again. All of those courses are available to you if you sign up for the 12-month coaching program. And you have access, and you have lifetime access to these. Even if you sign up for 12 months of coaching, you don't just get 12 months of the courses, you have lifetime access to the courses. It's just the coaching part is the 12 month. And so you can read through this yourself. Obviously, there's different opportunities for you: 12-month coaching, 6-month coaching, different options, one-on-one coaching. And if you still have questions, you can book a call with me, fultonfba.com/connect. If you decide that you want to pay in full for the coaching, we're going to send you this package worth over $300. These different types of tools that will help you in your Amazon business, and I'm offering up a 30-minute one-on-one strategy call with me, where we talk through mindsets, we talk through raising your profits, we talk about having a lot of fun, and then this is a bonus that's worth about $500. And so it is time for you to start making your journey towards a full-time income on Amazon. We would love to help. Full-time income, fultonefba.com/coaching. I also want to just share a few quick stories from some of our previous coaching students that have been with us, and so I'm going to share my screen again. That's just all I do. I just share my screen. Um, so, all right. So this is a email. Do you see this on your screen, Rebecca?
Yes,
All
got
right.
it.
This email from one of our coaching clients. I made my first sale, and we just love sharing. And he's like, Jason here. I wanted to share with you. I had my first sale on Amazon literally the day after my first products went live. It feels amazing to have a sale so quickly. Now I just need to get more products sourced and available. 2 months ago, selling on Amazon was just an idea, and now I've made a small profit already. Thanks for your coaching help thus far, and I look forward to learning how I can continue to scale in my business. And so I decided, you know what, I really wanted to reach out to Jason and just ask him a few questions. So I have this recording of this video. Um,
So my name's Jason Inazo. I think it was July-ish of 23 when I signed up for the program. When I signed up, I had been listening to your podcasts for a little while, liked the content that you had on there, and then found your coaching program. I didn't know a whole lot about selling on Amazon at all, other than kind of what I had seen already online. So I thought that the coaching program would kind of help me get to where I want to be. I believe it was at the end of September or late in September, when I first listed my products, the first set of products. So I was at about 3 months in. And then it was like a few days later that I got the first sale. So that was pretty cool. And then I got a couple more sales after that. So it made me feel really good to get that first sale, like within a couple days of listing the products. So the live calls are great because it's you hosting them, so we can interact directly with you. You always start with sharing wins, which I think is nice, which most often transitions into some kind of Q&A right away. Because at least for me, some of the wins that I'm sharing have questions that come with them as well. Because there's so much to learn, and it's such a dynamic environment that nothing's just really cut and dry. There's always something to learn or ask about it, or kind of understand. And then you go on to your kind of topic or topics of the day, which is extremely helpful because it's all things that are relevant. And I've really seen how you like to try and pick topics that kind of coincide with seasons or quarters or whatever it might be, so it's all very relevant information that's not outdated or anything like that, which then can lead to more Q&A as well, and then wrapping up with our goals for until we meet again. So I think the calls are extremely beneficial and helpful, and definitely not wasting any time. So if somebody is struggling and really needs help, either they're fresh like me where I didn't know anything about it, or if they've tried to do it on their own and they're just struggling, the program would help immensely because you have the community. So you definitely have you as a resource, somebody who's been doing this for a long time and has access to a lot of information to share, but then also the other members as well. And so I've noticed there's a lot of collaboration between us other members on those calls as well, and bouncing ideas and whatnot. So I think it's extremely beneficial to help if you're either new or struggling, and you need a coach to get you there. And then all the other additional information that you give too, that some of it you just can't get anywhere else, or you might not read on the internet. Or if you do get it on the internet, there's nobody to ask any clarification. So we can ask you the clarification. And then, I mean, you create this package. So you have the coaching calls, but then you have your podcasts, you have the emails you send out, you have the follow-up emails you send out after the calls with, links and additional information and kind of the recap. And you're always passing along things kind of in between that come up that might be relevant or coincide with your podcasts. So a lot of information coming from you that helps in addition to just the calls themselves. It's been satisfying seeing things grow. Of course, there's challenges along the way. It's not always easy, but it's rewarding, and there's a lot of potential.
So that's Jason. I'm really thankful he had time to get on a little quick call with me. Obviously not able to be here live, so we played that. That's a call that went really well, and a story. But this is one of my all-time favorites. This is Christy, who was anyway. I'm starting to tell her story. I'm gonna play this video of her. Let her tell you a little bit how full-time FBA and what we teach has helped her in her own life.
I learned about FBA and we Googled everything. We Googled everything on selling on Amazon, and your stuff came up. And so I kid you not, for like 2 weeks, we didn't watch movies. We didn't watch anything. We watched your videos.
Oh my gosh.
For like 2 weeks. Every night he'd come home from work. We'd get the kids to bed, and then we'd learn how to sell on Amazon. And so that was our exciting start. And in, I think, the first year, and we were only up for a couple of months, this was at the end of the year, but in my first Q4, I think I did like $79,000 in sales. And that was just one quarter. And so I was sold. I was hooked. And in fact, it's kind of funny because I stopped selling on eBay because this was just a much better use of my time. There is a huge learning curve to selling on Amazon. So we were grateful that we had stumbled upon your videos, because seriously, I think you saved us 5 years in this process. And so we went from having a negative equity of $97,000 to being able to not only afford the payment, but afford to buy a rental property that, we fixed up. And, we were able to buy for cash a farm here in Texas. And so we have 10 acres. We have a farm. We have chickens. We have cows. We are doing what we want to do. We have 3 little boys that we are raising, and they love this lifestyle. I'm able to stay home with them. I'm able to homeschool them. They're having the time of their life. And that is something that having Amazon has afforded us to be able to do. If we wanted to stop, I'd have to find somebody for the cows, of course. But if we wanted to stop and take a 10-day vacation in Europe, no problem. We could take a 10-day vacation in Europe. What I will do is say, hey, if you're really interested in selling on Amazon, here's a website for you. And I'll send them to your website.
Thank you.
because that's how I did it. And I don't know, I've probably referred 50, 60 people to you, people just asking me, hey, how do you do it? I'm glad you do what you do. Not only if you helped me, there's got to be tons of other people that you just haven't heard from that you
Mhm.
have helped,
Yeah.
so I am thankful that you do what you do. You can research something to death, absolutely to death, and you're not going to help yourself unless you take the step of faith, and you just do it. I started my account, I kid you not, I had $500 to my name. But you have to have faith in yourself. You have to take action. Nothing is going to happen if you don't take action. So go open up that Amazon account, go through your videos. You have so many videos, it's not even funny. But you got to take action, because without action, none of this happens. None of this.
So that's Christy's experience. If you want to learn of, the full, I interviewed her on our podcast. I think it was last year. Anyway, you can go check it, fultonfba.com/podcast to scroll through, and then you can just find Christy's interview there. It is a fun interview.
I just wanted to make it clear too that if you do FBA full-time income, you don't have to buy a farm and move to Texas.
That's right. That's right.
Wonderful place to be, but
But
also,
hey, if you want to come to Texas and do that, we'll accept you.
yeah. Yep. All right. So what else do you have for us, Stephen?
I mean, that is basically, we're coming up on the end of the hour. That is what I wanted to make sure everyone knew about what is possible. And there are a lot of people out there who are like, I think I can totally do this on my own with maybe with just a course. Almost everyone who does that comes back to me and was like, I need some more help. Our courses are very, laser focused and can help you, but your situation is going to be different from someone else's. The Amazon landscape continues to change, and so when Amazon changes, we pivot along with it. And so that's one of the things that our coaching program can help as well, so that when Amazon changes, you're able to, and sometimes we know Amazon is changing before it actually implements those changes, and so we're able to make those changes so that we continue to find profitable opportunities and ways to make money and ways to get inventory without a lull in our profits. And so we can help you along that way too. So fulltimefba.com/coaching. Today is Saturday when we are recording this. The bonus of the 30-minute one-on-one coaching call disappears Tuesday night at midnight Central. The bonus, if you decide to pay in full, of the FBA supplies that's worth over $300, that also disappears if you wait until after Tuesday midnight Central Time.
See, in the comments, we have a comment, I don't think I can do this totally on my own. And I think that's right. I think that we can try, and there's a lot of good resources out there. We have a lot of good resources for you, videos and podcasts and articles that you can consume and try to implement on your own. But it is so much better to have a group to go through it with, or to have that one-on-one on a regular basis if you choose to go that route, to do individual coaching. Either one of those is going to get you that much further, that much quicker. That's the other part of it, is that going at it alone, you could end up at the same destination, but you could get there a lot quicker if you're able to collaborate and have that personalized, individualized attention. That even if you're in a group coaching setting, so that you're not getting a one-on-one call every other week, you're still going to get personalized attention, and the details of your business will be something that we can discuss and work towards your actual individual goals, not just hypothetical.
Yeah, and I would say that doing it on your own, because that's what we had to do. We had to do it on our own. Doing it on your own brings about incremental growth, very slow process of growth. But when you have a when you have a coach showing you what to do, showing you the landmines that could really mess things up and how to skip over those, that help you find the right ways to do it and what's working right now, that helps you get monumental growth so much faster than trying to do it on your own. Every single one of my coaching students has told me that they would be nowhere near where they were now than if they had just decided to do it on their own, because on their own they don't have that accountability. They don't have the strategies that are working right now, and they continue to come up against roadblocks that I'm like, no, they're not roadblocks. They can be transformed into speed bumps that are no, they don't let those stop you. Most people find roadblocks and decide to stop and do something else. And so what if you are tired of starting over, it's time to get a coach and stick with this process. We know the path. We can show you the way. FulltimeFBA.com/coaching to sign up and get some bonuses. And we can't wait to help you.
All right, so our next session will be Monday, same time, same Zoom location. You'll get the link sent out to you, or you may have already sent out those links. I'm not sure, but Monday will be our day in the life of a full-time seller. Stephen and I will be discussing what our daily work life is like. We kind of have some similarities to how our day goes, but we both focus in different areas with our FBA business. So we'll kind of share what that looks like, and can't wait to get into that on Monday.
Yeah, and just as a reminder, if this is your first time here, we have our 5-day roadmap replays that are going to be available for a few more days. So if you want to catch up over the weekend, maybe you got some free time, FulltimeFBA.com/replay is the links, and you can watch through our previous sessions from Monday through today, and you can catch up. But again, we're not going to leave these links up indefinitely. The information is just too good to leave up forever, and so we want to reward those who are action takers. So FulltimeFBA.com/replay to be sure to soak in as much possible as you can. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with us during your weekend. We'll see you on Monday, and I'll be sure to send you the link for Monday's session so you are ready for that. It's going to be the exact same time, and we're going to have a good time hanging out on Monday. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.